If you've been wanting to start your own side hustle or leave your full-time job and you just don't know where to start, I'm going to go through a few things today that will help you get a good start on figuring out what kind of business you want to start or what kind of products you want to sell. I'm going to talk about some of my prerequisites for starting businesses, things that I think about, things that I look for, and I'm going to share with you how to generate ideas for your business or for products that you want to sell and actually see if they're viable ideas. I know that the thought of starting a business can be completely overwhelming, and sometimes it's the start that's the hardest part. No, it's usually the start that is the hardest part. So I just want to help you get a start and give you kind of a process to get you started in really making this happen for you, for starting your own business and starting to sell physical products. This topic has been really front and center for me also right now because I have a seasonal business right now. And I've been trying to really decide what direction to take that business or if I want to start a new business. And I think, like a lot of entrepreneurs, I really have shiny object syndrome. And I start getting ideas and then I get more ideas. And I think that I have a business that I want to start. And then I jump to the next idea because that looks a little bit better, a little more exciting, maybe can make more money. And I just jump around to a lot of different ideas because I have so many ideas. And I started a process of really making notes of all of these ideas and writing them out so that I could kind of clear my brain and really focus in on what business I want to start. The biggest thing I focus on when starting a business now is what my lifestyle is like right now and what I'm looking for my lifestyle to be. So right now, my daughter is about to graduate high school, which is why I've always just had a seasonal business for the last couple of years so that I could really focus on her and be present for these last couple of years. And it's been great. However, as seasons change, businesses can change too. And now that she's going to be leaving in the fall, I just really want to change my business or start a new business, really expand now that I have time to work on a business again. I feel like I've kind of given that season of life to her that she's needed, and it's time now that I can kind of focus more on business again and start really growing another business. So I think when you're starting a business, you need to really look at your lifestyle and see what fits. And that can be, if you want this to be a full-time job, if you want it to be a side hustle, how many hours in a day realistically you have to work on this business. If you have lots of kids and you need to work around their schedules, if you have a full-time job and you maybe only have an hour at night to work on this business. I think those are all really important things to think about when trying to decide what kind of business you want or what kind of product you want to sell. Even as I'm starting a new business or thinking about starting a new business or expanding the current business that I have, a lot of thought has gone into kind of the lifestyle that I want to have. She's going to be involved in sports in college, so I definitely want to be able to go watch her play. I want to be able to travel a little bit more because I've been really tied down these last few years with her and her activities. So freedom to travel and kind of be on my own time schedule has been really important to me when thinking about my next business. So I think that's really something that you need to think about when starting a business. And I understand that there's times of life when you just need the money. And I've been in that time of life too, where it didn't really matter what kind of extras I wanted to have in my life, such as like freedom or being able to travel or being home all the time, stuff like that. And I was in that season of life also where we just needed the money. And so I had to put my head down and really work and make the money. But now that I'm in a different time in my life, I really look a lot more at what I want from my business, how I can have this business make the money, but also have the type of lifestyle that I want. And for me, that looks like, maybe I can have my items shipped out of a 3PL, have someone else do the shipping for me. The current business that I have right now would be really difficult to have someone do that just because there's so many moving pieces to it. And it would probably get really costly if I had someone else ship out these products. Another option is a subscription-based business where maybe you're only shipping out products once a month. That would give me a couple weeks where maybe I could be off traveling more or doing more things, and I wouldn't necessarily have to be home to be shipping out products to customers. Another option is print on demand. I have mixed feelings about print on demand. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos. I've researched a lot, and there's a lot of people that are having a lot of success with print on demand. I just don't think for the type of person that I am, I could have 100% a print on demand business. Maybe I could add some elements of print on demand to a business, but I don't think it's right for me for the type of products that I want to sell. But these are all things to think about when starting a new business. The other thing that you should really think about is where you're going to be shipping your items out of, where you're going to be setting up your shop. So right now I have a studio area building that I ship my products out of, and it works fine. I have some bulkier items right now, so we are getting a little short on space. If I really want to grow that business, there's not a lot of room where I'm at to grow that business. So I would need to find a bigger space or an additional space, which could be kind of hard. These are all things that I'm thinking about when I'm thinking about what kind of products I would want to grow with this brand. I do have some space at my office that I could utilize for shipping, which is why I'm kind of thinking about a new business and what that could look like, and the space that I would have in my office to ship items out from there. When we started our clothing business, we had just built a new house, and we were actually not even fully moved in yet when I started that business. I mean, we were, but the house wasn't complete. And so we didn't even have a garage yet. We didn't have any additional buildings. We just had the house. And that was a time in life when we needed the money, and I didn't have a choice. We had to ship out of our house, and we had t-shirts and products all over our house. I mean, every corner of our house had products in it to ship out. Our entryway became kind of where the UPS man would drop, and we'd have tons of boxes in our entryway. It was kind of a lot, and I wouldn't want to go back to that. I mean, it does put stress on you as a couple or as a family, and it's hard to live in an environment like that long term. Now, again, the business just took off so fast, and we were probably shipping out 50 to 75,000 t-shirts in a month, maybe more. And so it was just a situation where the business blew up, and we didn't really have a choice if we wanted to keep it going. We had to do that. But now I would definitely try to plan ahead a little bit and kind of have the next space picked out. So if you think that you can start shipping from home and that's a viable option for you, maybe have an idea in the back of your head for where you could go next or what you would do if the business took off. And maybe you just want to keep it a small business. These are all things to really think about and consider when you're starting a business. I have made a PDF and linked it below of 25 ideas to start from your house. So this is just a free PDF that you can download and just start generating some ideas for maybe some smaller items that could possibly be shipped out of an extra room in your house or the basement of your home or a garage, something like that, if you really want to start a home-based business and work from home. All right, the next thing I like to do is after you've kind of created your list of items that are possibilities to sell, this is when you can start researching them. And I want to put a disclaimer on this because I have started and grown each of my businesses without any research. When we started this back in 2012, we didn't have all the tools that are out now for researching and seeing if items are viable products to sell. So this was all kind of intuitive and gut feeling and kind of seeing what was missing in the marketplace. So this is not at all to say that you need these tools or that this is the only way to start and grow a business, because it's certainly not. There are people who do this in a wide variety of ways, and I don't think that anyone can say there's only one way to start and grow a business. So when I'm talking about these tools, it is not a necessity It's an addition that can make your decision making a lot easier and also help you to take fewer risks. I took quite a few risks with each of my businesses, and I mean, it all worked out. It all worked out, but nowadays there's so many different tools that people can use to help kind of mitigate those risks and know that their product will sell before they order a bunch in. So this is not a sponsored video, but the number one tool that I use and I love is Everbee. And I've mentioned this in quite a few of my videos, but it really is a great tool. And I have completely pared down all of the tools that I use. In fact, this is the only one, and I've canceled this one multiple times and I keep coming back to it. And I just can't give it up because I love the product research phase, and I think it's super fascinating using the Everbee tool to kind of see what people are selling, see what can be sold, and see how much people are selling of items that you maybe would have never thought of. So it's just a really good expander for your mind, if nothing else, to kind of see what's possible and what people are selling. You can use this tool on any category on Etsy, and you can type in the category and then start looking at products. You can type in a certain product and get all the information about that product. There's so many ways to use this tool. And then you can click on the product and also kind of dive deeper into analytics on that product or analytics on the shop and see what other items the shop is selling, which can take you down a whole nother rabbit hole for coming up with ideas for a brand and additional products. But I think it's really fascinating to see the units that people sell in a month and how much they're making each month, how many units they've sold total, kind of their total revenue on Etsy. And I can attest that this tool is insanely accurate. If anything, I think the numbers are a little bit lower because I've hooked this up to my own Etsy shop and it is giving me numbers that are actually lower than what I've done. So that's a really good gauge for me. I would rather that they're on the low end than on the high end and over exaggerating what someone is selling in a month. I do like to take all of the results and kind of put them into a spreadsheet or a notebook, and that just helps me later on when I'm trying to narrow down products to kind of look at the numbers, look at the price. Once I've sourced the items, kind of see what the profit is and see what direction I want to go. Using Everbee is just a really excellent way to see if the products that you want to sell are actually selling and if people are actually searching for them and if they want these products. Again, this is not a necessity, so do not feel like you have to have these tools to succeed because you most certainly do not. They're just there to make the process a little bit easier for you. That was just a brief overview of the first couple of steps that I like to take when trying to figure out what kind of business to start or what kind of products to sell. I did just launch my very first course, which I am so excited about because I really do believe that it can help you shortcut starting your business. I linked it below, but I go through step by step from idea creation to sourcing the products and actually walk you through what it looks like talking to manufacturers. It's broken down into really easy steps so you don't get overwhelmed and you can actually get a product made and get your business going. Because that's the whole goal, is to get the products made and get the business going. And I know that it can be overwhelming and scary and just a lot at times. So I wanted this course to really help you from the idea creation phase all the way to sourcing products on Alibaba, talking to manufacturers, things like that. So hopefully this course will help you out. And I hope this video helped you to kind of start breaking down the steps to start your own business and getting on that road to freedom, whatever that looks like for you. So as always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and I'm happy to answer them and help you out. And thank you so much for being here and have a great day.